morning. Welcome back to EB Yoga. Today's class is an effort and ease class with a little more focus on the ease part. We won't be doing any full sun salutations today, just half sun salutations, and we'll actually spend a lot of class on the ground. So all you'll need for class today is a bolster, so grab that and let's begin lying down in constructive rest. Lying on your back with your knees bent, feet and knees about hip distance apart. If you need to wiggle your feet around so that feels comfortable in the knees, go right ahead. Check in with your shoulders, see if they're crunched up towards your face, see if you could relax your shoulders down, find some space in your neck. And then whatever your arms want to do, if you want to spread them out, or maybe bring your hands to your belly. And close your eyes if you'd like here. We'll take just a minute to relax, to breathe, and to check in with how we're feeling right now at the beginning of class. So just noticing what's going on in your mind, if your mind is wandering, planning the day, worrying about anything. Can you redirect your focus to your breath, to this present moment, noticing the sounds going on around you. Noticing the way your body is supported by the earth, which parts of your body are connecting. Maybe allowing your breath to grow deeper if that feels good. And as you deepen your breath, see if you can breathe into your belly. Let your belly expand with your breath. Taking a few more breaths here on your back before we begin to move. And slowly start to stretch your body out, reach your arms up, legs down, full body stretch. Reach with your fingers, point your toes. And then grab onto your right hand, stretch it up over your head, point your right toes down. See if you can even scoot your right toes over a little bit, more stretch in the right side. And take one more breath in the right side. And release and switch. Left arm, grab it, stretch it up over your head. Left toes point down. Maybe scoot them over to the right for more stretch in the left side. One more breath on the left side. And release. Clasping your hands in front of you and circles or figure eights with your wrists. Slow your circles down, change direction. Slow your circles again. Flip your hands around, palms up to the ceiling, and let your hands peel apart. Maybe give your wrist a couple circles, a gentle little shake. And then relax your arms back down by your side. Bend your knees, feet flat on the ground, back in constructive rest legs, and we'll start warming up our ankles. So starting with some toe taps. Lift up your right toes, set them down, left toes, set them down, and alternate, just warming up the ankle. And then after a few of those toe taps, switch it up. Leave the toes down, lift up the heels, and alternate. And then maybe take some time to circle each ankle. Taking each ankle in both directions. Maybe doing some pointing and flexing. And taking some time with each ankle. And starting to finish up with the ankles and setting the feet back down. Beginning with the right leg, pull your right knee in and then start to bend and straighten the right knee. And anything that feels good here that starts to wake up your leg. So you might want to hold the leg straight and then point and flex the foot. Maybe the bending and straightening with the pointing and flexing of the ankle. Maybe hold your leg straight, pull it back a little bit, feel a little stretch. And after you feel like the right knee is warmed up, moving down to the right hip. I like to start with a bent right knee and just circle the knee so I'm actually moving in the hip. And then maybe a butterfly, take the right knee in and out so the hip's moving in a different way. So anything that feels good with the right leg here, take a moment to stretch. And take a few more breaths here on the right leg. And then set your right foot down and over to the left side. Bend the left knee in and start to bend and straighten. And again, all of those options, maybe holding the leg straight, point and flex. Maybe hold the leg straight, pull it back, feel a little stretch. Or maybe move the knee and the ankle. And then once the knee is warmed up, knee circles, warming up the hip. The knee butterfly in and out for the hip. And anything you like that warms up the left leg. Take a few more breaths on this side. And begin to set the left leg back down. And then two options here, either feet flat on the floor and windshield wiper the knees side to side. Or bend the knees in, take a little rock on your back. Take a moment to take a little stretch here, whatever feels good. And then from here on our backs, we're just going to flip over onto our belly. Taking a few back bends here on our belly. So we'll do 3 back bends, each one getting progressively a little bit bigger. But remember that you should always do what feels good to your back. Doing bigger back bends doesn't give any benefit besides back pain. Seriously, like your spine only goes so far, and that's why we're going to talk about using the muscles in our back to do these back bends instead of pushing with our arms. So if anything hurts, don't do it. Thank you. So beginning with Sphinx. So Sphinx, you want to prop yourself up a little bit and see if your elbows can tuck in under your shoulders.
If that feels like it's pinching into your ribs and chest, you can always take the elbows a little bit wider. And if elbows under the shoulders it feels like it's putting you into too much of a back bend, elbows forward a little bit and lower it down. So Sphinx forearms look pretty parallel. Fingers can outstretch if you'd like. Not super picky with the arm position. More focusing on how this feels in our back. It should feel like a very gentle back bend. And if this is intense, then don't go any bigger than this today. All right? So Sphinx. I also call this TV watching pose. Check in with your shoulders in your Sphinx. See if you're crunched down at all like this. And if you could pull your shoulders down so that you're pulling your chest a little forward. And take one more breath in Sphinx. And then take your elbows out to the side, stack your hands, drop your head, and rest for a couple breaths. Begin to lift your head up. And you can stay with Sphinx or we'll go into Cobra. So for Cobra, bring your hands closer to under your shoulders. So they don't have to be right under your shoulders. I actually like them a little forward and a little bit wide. And then with a gentle press into your hands, lift your chest up off the ground. But then check in. Are you using your muscles in your back or your arms? Can you pick your hands up? So I know I'm using the muscles in my trunk, in my back and my front to hold myself up like this. If you're pushing with your hands into a Cobra like this, you're not using muscles in your back. I'm really crunching into my lower back here, and you're using muscles in your arms. So, Cobra, check in with no hands, and then you can always keep the hands down for support. Or I really like to do all my Cobras with hands up. I just know that I'm challenging myself that way then. How much ever effort or ease you would like to put into Cobra. And then another check in with the shoulders in Cobra too. See if you can take them away from the head. And take one more breath in Cobra. And stack your hands, drop your head, and rest a few breaths. Lifting your head back up. And our final back bend will be locust. So for locust, we aren't going to use our arms at all. We're going to use all the muscles in our core to pull us up into a back bend. So lift yourself up like you're reaching your hands back for your feet. And notice if you ever feel any cramping in the lower back in any of these back bends. Sometimes if we try to keep our feet too close together, it puts pressure on the lower back. So maybe let your feet be a little wider or just lower your back bend down so you're not crunching into your spine so much. Take a couple more breaths in locust. And once again, stack your hands, drop your head, and take a few breaths of rest. Begin to lift your head back up. Start to roll onto the side of your body. Either side will end up doing both. So lengthen out on whichever side you're laying on. You can prop your head up in your hand or you can rest it down, whatever you like here. And with that other hand, take that in front of you just to help with balance. And then reach with your feet. Make sure you're nice and long. And then lift up your legs and set them down. Woo! Keep your balance. And lift up your legs and set them down. And just about 10 of these guys. Notice what kind of muscles you're feeling working here.
think that's about 10. We're not really counting reps or anything, but we wanted about to make them even on both sides. And after you've gotten 10 on the first side, go ahead and flip your body around. Set yourself up on the opposite side, whatever you want to do with your head. Other hand to help balance. And then lift your legs. And about 10, 12 on this side. Just so that we're sort of keeping even. When you're even on your sides, relax your legs back down and take a few breaths of rest. And begin to roll back onto your belly so you can press yourself up to tabletop. Get comfortable in tabletop and cat and cow. Inhale, fill your belly up. Exhale, pull your belly in around your spine. Moving with the breath if you'd like. One more cat and cow. And moving into our barrel roll, around your spine up, ribs to the side, belly down, ribs to the other side, round back up. Like you're scraping your ribs around in a barrel. Slow your barrel roll down. Take one more time around. And then take a pause. Barrel roll your ribs the other way. Slow your barrel roll again, one more time around. And coming back to table and taking our cat and cow side to side. So instead of taking the spine like up and down, we're going to take it side to side. So think about if you were trying to look over at the side of your hip. So crunch into your left side, look at the left hip. Back to center, and then crunch into the right side as you look at the right hip. And back to center. And these little side to side cat and cows. And take it one more time to each side. And come back to center, child's pose. If you want to widen up your knees a little bit, butt back to your heels, and take a few breaths to rest. From child's pose, begin to lift back up to table. Check in if you need a little wiggle in your body. And then we're going to move into our tabletop flow. So from tabletop, I'll show you what one of these looks like, and then we'll take maybe 5 together. From table, we take an inhale, we exhale, slow lower down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push up to table. And exhale to child's, and then a full breath in child. So where I did that little cobra with no hands, you can choose any of those back bends that we did earlier. All right, 5 rounds like that. In tabletop, take an inhale. Oh yes, and make sure your hands are a little forward so you don't face plant when you lower down. Inhale, table. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's for a breath. Inhale, back up to table. And exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, low. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's. Inhale, table. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's. Inhale, table. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's. Last time. Inhale, table. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's. Take about 3 breaths here. Begin to lift back up to table and take a check. Do you need any sort of little stretch or movement here in table? If so, take a moment to take a stretch. And then when you're ready, curl your toes, lift your hips, and I'll meet you in down dog. Just a few breaths in down dog today. Maybe bend and straighten your knees a couple times if you'd like. Begin to walk your down dog forward, walk your hands back, and hands find your shins, forward fold. Bend and straighten the knees again, maybe a little sway side to side. And then a big bend in your knees and roll your body up to stand. Yourself a little shake out if you need, and find your way to mountain pose. Without looking down at your feet, find a focal spot ahead of you. Bring your feet together, not the most comfortable thing in the world, and then start to sway your feet apart. See what it would feel like to turn your feet in, turn your feet out. See if you can find that spot of your own personal neutral. And then when your legs feel grounded, like I got the bottom half of the mountain going, reach up a little bit with your head so you could get a little taller. See if you could relax your shoulders down and let your hands face whichever way feels good today. And take a few breaths in mountain. One more breath in mountain. And take an inhale, reach your arms up. Grab onto your right wrist, stretch it up over your head. You can root down in the right foot and push the hips to the right, or maybe pick up the right foot, cross it over the left, and then push the hips over to the right. Stretch your right side. One more breath. And release. A little shake out if you need. And to the left side, reach your arms up. Grab your left wrist, pull it up and over. Shoot your hips over to the left or across the left foot, and then send the hips to the left. One more breath on this side. And let your arms go. A little shake out if you need. And a little balance challenge here. So whatever sort of arms help you balance, whatever you need here. I like to start with hands on hips or like waitress sort of arms. Let's start with shifting our weight into our right foot. Bend your left knee so you come up onto your left toes, and you can always stay here balancing. Or more challenge, start to lift the knee up. See if you can lift the knee up to knee height. Hip height. Knee to hip height, you know what I meant. And then taking it in and out like a butterfly. So you might bring your foot closer so you're going tree pose and back. Right knee or left knee opens up. Left knee comes back in. Slow, controlled movement. Take this a couple times. And then bring the foot back and set it down. And over to the other side. Weight over into the left foot. Come up onto the right toes. And then if you want, knee up to hip level. And tree pose in and out. Maybe let your foot find your other leg. And then right knee in and out. Open to tree and close. Couple more times. And next time your knee comes back in front of you, let it go, set it down. And a little shake out, anything else you need here. And making your way back to mountain pose. And we'll take 5 rounds of a half sunny. So we'll take the first one a little extra slow, move a little more with the breath for the last ones. So mountain pose, take a breath. And then inhale, reaches up. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, lengthen your spine like an upside down L. Exhale, fold, hands on shins. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back up. Number 3, exhale, hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. One more time. Exhale, hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart or by your side. Take a couple breaths here. Moving back down to table. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over. Bend your knees, reach for the ground. And make your way back into tabletop. From tabletop, lower all the way to your belly.
Your choice of back bend, a sphinx, a cobra, a locust, or an option of the flying locust where we use our arms and we lower up and down. So decide on sphinx, cobra, locust, find your back bend, and if you're taking the flying locust, we'll take 5 breaths. So we inhale, lift into our locust, exhale, swim our arms forward. Inhale, back up to locust, and exhale the arms forward. Take 3 more breaths, whichever back bend you're doing. And after those 3 breaths, stack your hands, drop your head, and take a couple breaths to rest. Begin to lift your head back up and begin to roll onto your left side. Stretch out on your left side, reaching with your feet. This time, reach with your left arm and let your head rest on your left arm too. And then lift up your feet and lift up your head and your left arm so you're crunching into your right side. And if you still feel like you want to do more work here, you can pick up that right hand and work on keeping your balance. Take a few breaths here. Last breath, crunch up into your right side and let it go. Take a couple breaths to rest. And begin to make your way over onto your right side. Stretch out on your right side. Right arm is reaching, head on the right arm, reach with the feet. And then lift up your feet. Add your head and your right arm. And again, left hand can help you balance or challenge, whatever you want. And take a couple more breaths on this side. Last breath, crunch up into the left side and let it go. Take a few breaths to rest. And start to lift yourself back up. So we're going to do one more round of that locust and side bow. You can do it like we just did on your mat, or if you want some more challenge, want to put in some more effort here, grab your bolster. Begin with lying down on your belly on your bolster. So all 3 of those back bends we did, we can do here on the bolster, and it's up to you how far off of the bolster you want to bring your chest. The further off of the bolster I hang, the more work it is to lift myself up. So you can always slide further back on the bolster and then it's a little bit less work on your back. But you can do sphinx, elbows under shoulders, forearms parallel. It actually becomes a gentler back bend up on the bolster, at least for me. Or cobra, hands by the sides and lifting up a little more, but I can still pick up my hands. I'm not pushing myself up here. Or locust, hands by the side, arms back. So take a moment to adjust on your bolster. And I like to have my toes curled under here, and I have like plank feet. It helps me feel like I'm keeping my balance. So decide which back bend you would like to do. And again, those 3 options or flying locust. So pick your back bend, rise up. And then 5 slow breaths. And if you're doing flying locust, inhale, reach, exhale forward. Inhale back, exhale forward. 3 more breaths. And after your 3 deep breaths, relax. If you need to make a little adjustment here on your bolster, I like to take my knees wide, take a stretch in child's pose. And from wherever you are, we're going to begin to roll onto our left side. So lying on the side on your bolster depends on your proportions, how long your bolster is, and what size your bolster is. So I have a round bolster, which makes it really challenging to balance on my side. So you may also need a couple blocks here if you needed to lengthen out your bolster to have more room to support. I try to be supported from under my hip up to my armpit, which I have a sort of short torso, so this bolster works fine for me. But if you need more blocks or whatever to support yourself, do that. So then once you're lying on your side, I'm on my left side and my left arm is going to be my main support here. I'm not going to lift my left arm up for this one. Lift your legs up, hovering bolster height, and then crunch your legs up. And see, I might want to block here under my right hand for support here. Or just reach for the feet to crunch some more. Couple more breaths on this side. And reach for your feet. And relax. Let's roll over to the right side. Take a moment to get balanced and set up on the right side. Right arm is supporting me here. Left arm to help me balance. And then squeeze the feet up. Maybe reach the left arm for the feet. Couple more breaths here. Reach a little more. And let it go. Roll the bolster out of the way and roll onto your back. On your back, bend your knees again and let your knees windshield wiper to each side. Maybe bend your knees in, take a little rock around on your back. And begin to make your way up to sit. Thank you so much for joining me for this Effort and Ease class. Hope you had a great time. Hope to see you again soon.